It all started on a quiet evening, in a small, nondescript government lab. Dr. Lucas Hamilton, a seasoned scientist with a reputation for solving the unsolvable, was working late. His fingers danced across the keyboard as he sifted through endless streams of data from the Deep Space Telescope, a project that had been running for years with little more than a few faint signals here and there. But that night, something was different. A strange, repeating signal appeared on the screen, something that had never been detected before. It wasn't like any ordinary signal, it was structured, deliberate, almost like a message. Lucas stared at the screen in disbelief. The signal was unlike anything human technology could produce, and it wasn't from any known source. His heart raced as he quickly alerted his team. They ran tests, checked the equipment, and tried everything they could think of to verify the signal. But each time, it came back the same, unexplained. The message was clear, but it was in a language they couldn't understand. It was a sequence of pulses, rhythmic and precise. The more they analyzed, the more they realized this wasn't a natural phenomenon. Someone, or something, was trying to communicate. Lucas was excited, but there was also a deep, nagging feeling in the pit of his stomach. This wasn't just any signal. This was something big. As the team scrambled to decode the signal, they reached out to other scientists across the globe. The world was soon abuzz with the news. The signal had been detected in multiple locations across the planet, and it was growing stronger. They weren't sure who or what was sending it, but one thing was clear: humanity was no longer alone in the universe. Despite the excitement, Lucas felt a growing unease. The signals weren't just random bursts of data, they followed a pattern, an intricate design that seemed to be pushing them toward something. But what? Was it a warning, an invitation, or something else entirely? Days turned into weeks as the team worked tirelessly. They tried every method they knew to decode the message. They ran simulations, checked algorithms, and consulted linguists, but the code remained elusive. It was as if the message was intentionally encrypted, as though it knew they were trying to break it. But with every passing day, Lucas grew more obsessed. He couldn't shake the feeling that the key to the code was right in front of them, hidden in plain sight. The more he thought about it, the more he realized that they were looking at the message the wrong way. Maybe the answer wasn't in the code itself, but in how they were interpreting it. Could it be that the aliens weren't using the same logic as humans? What if they thought differently? What if the key wasn't about decoding, but about understanding? One night, after hours of frustration, Lucas made a breakthrough. He stopped focusing on the signal's structure and started looking at the patterns within it. It was then that he saw it, a series of symbols, seemingly random at first, but now unmistakable. They matched something he had seen before, something he had studied in his earlier years of research: ancient symbols from lost civilizations. Could it be? Were the aliens communicating using universal symbols, ones that even humans could understand? Lucas couldn't contain his excitement. He immediately gathered his team and shared his findings. It was clear they were on the brink of something monumental. The alien message wasn't some complex mathematical equation or advanced technology, it was a language rooted in something much older than they had imagined. But just as they were beginning to decode the message, something unexpected happened. The signal stopped. 4 days, there was nothing. Silence. The team was stunned. They had come so close, only to be left in the dark once again. The silence dragged on for what felt like an eternity. The world waited, but there was no more communication from the aliens. Was it over? Had the aliens grown tired of their attempts to reach out? Or had they simply been observing, and now they were leaving? The team at the lab was divided. Some believed the silence was intentional, a test of humanity's resolve. Others feared that the aliens had decided they were not ready for such knowledge. But Lucas couldn't shake the feeling that something else was going on. He continued to study the signals they had received, looking for clues, anything that could point to what had happened. One night, Lucas had a breakthrough. He realized that the message wasn't a single communication, it was a series of transmissions, each one building upon the last. The signals they had received so far were only part of a larger puzzle, and they had been given the first piece. The aliens weren't simply talking to them, they were waiting for them to solve the puzzle, to unlock the next phase of the message. Lucas's heart pounded as he re-examined the patterns. The ancient symbols they had found were only the beginning. There were deeper meanings hidden within them, connections to human history, to the rise and fall of civilizations. It was as if the aliens had been watching humanity for centuries, waiting for the right moment to reach out. As Lucas and his team worked around the clock, something strange happened. The silence was broken, not by a signal, but by a message, a written message, an email of sorts. The email wasn't from any known source, and its contents were cryptic. Look to the stars, not for answers, but for understanding. The key is there, within you. It was as though the aliens were giving them a hint, but the message was deliberately vague. What did it mean? Why had they stopped sending signals and instead chosen to send this cryptic email? Was it a warning? A riddle? Lucas was more determined than ever. The stars had always been a symbol of the unknown, the unexplored. But now, it felt like they were more than just distant lights in the sky. They were a key to something greater, something humanity had yet to comprehend. Lucas and his team began to investigate the stars in a new way. They used advanced telescopes, looking for patterns in the way light traveled across the cosmos. What they discovered shocked them. Hidden within the stars, there were patterns, subtle shifts in the way light behaved, patterns that couldn't be explained by natural phenomena. It was as if the stars themselves were sending signals. But what did it all mean? The puzzle was far from solved, and every new discovery only led to more questions. The more they searched, the more they realized that the message they had received wasn't just from another species, it was from a civilization that had been watching humanity for far longer than they had imagined. And as they dug deeper, they began to uncover a terrifying truth. The aliens weren't just observing humanity, they had been guiding it, influencing its history from the very beginning. The rise of human civilization wasn't just a random series of events, it had been shaped by an unknown hand. The aliens had been here, among us, for centuries, hidden in the shadows, waiting for humanity to be ready for the truth. As Lucas pieced together the final parts of the puzzle, the truth became clear. The aliens weren't just visitors, they were humanity's creators. They had seeded Earth with life, guided its evolution, and watched as humanity grew. Every major event in history, the rise of great civilizations, the development of technology, had been influenced by these extraterrestrial beings. The signal they had received was not a plea for help, nor an invitation to join an intergalactic community. It was a message of revelation. The aliens were not just offering answers, they were revealing the true history of humanity. But there was a catch. The aliens had been waiting for humanity to reach a certain level of understanding, to evolve beyond the constraints of their own limitations. They had given humanity the tools to decipher their message, but they had also left behind a final test. Would humanity accept the truth, or would they reject it, just as they had rejected so many other revelations throughout history? The message was clear. The key to unlocking the next stage of human evolution was not in technology or science, but in understanding the nature of the universe and humanity's place within it. The aliens had taught humanity everything they knew, but now it was up to humans to evolve on their own, to find their own path forward. Lucas stood at the edge of a new era, one in which humanity was no longer a species in isolation, but part of a much larger, much more intricate tapestry of life in the universe. The truth had been revealed, and now it was up to humanity to decide what to do with it. The question remained, would humanity embrace their role in the universe, or would they turn their backs on the revelation and continue down the path of ignorance and isolation?